Hello, welcome back. Been a bit delay. I've had issues with my computer. Hopefully, fingers crossed, should be working. You never know. Today we are going to do another square to go with the squares that we've been doing previously. This one is a corner to corner square. I really like doing corner to corner. I've made loads of things with corner to corner. I spoke about some of the ones that I did in a previous video, on the crochet and chat video that went up a little while ago. But for now I'm just going to show you a very brief square that you can do corner to corner. You're going to need bent tip tapestry needles, or just one, or just a needle, a pair of scissors, a crochet hook. I am using the same size that we always use, which is the 4mm, and some yarn. I'm going for the silver yarn today. So once you've got all those bits and pieces together, we can get started. For this, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a slip knot. And then we're going to chain 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then in the 4th chain from the hook, we don't count this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to do a double crochet. We pull through 2 and pull through 2. We're going to do that in the next stitch, which is this one. Go through the chain, pull through a stitch, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then we're going to do it in our last one, which is this one here. And that is our first block for our corner to corner. We're then going to increase in a diagonal way. It will make more sense when you actually see what's going on. So I've just chained 3, chain another 3, so that's 6, and I'm going to do a double crochet into the 4th stitch, 4th chain from the hook, so it's 1, 2, 3, it's this one here, and double crochet, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. Now we're going to, so you've got 2 squares that look like this. You're going to rotate this bottom one round, and then here is your chain 3 from the beginning. We're going to go into that chain 3 space, draw through and pull through and do a slip stitch, and then we're going to do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space from the row before. Okay, so I'm going to take my hook out and turn this around. This is the bottom right corner of your square, and then this is the next row up, and then this is the one row to the side. And 6, and then do a double crochet into the 4th chain, a double crochet into the 5th chain, and a double crochet into the 6th. And then we're going to flip this work over, find the chain 3, now 1, 2, 3, and that's one that we're going to be working into later on. So we do 1, 2, 3. So it looks like we've now got 4 in that box. We go into this chain 3 and we do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3, and we're increasing again, so we need to do another chain 6, and again flip the work over and then do a slip stitch into there and chain 3, and slip stitch into that chain 3, and number 3 double crochets, slip stitch, chain 3, and then double crochets. You always need to remember to finish off this row before creating the next set of increases. Now I want to have a look and see how much bigger we need to go compared to our old squares. I have a feeling we need to do 6. So let's have a look and see how we're doing. So when you measure it up against one of our old ones, we do need to go a bit bigger. We've done 4 rows so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to do, I'm going to do one more row, have a look at that, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to decrease to get the square. Start my last square on row 6. So that's my chain 3 and then 3 double crochets. Now because this is now the right size, what we need to do is start decreasing. We've got half a square here and we need to make it more of a square. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a decrease. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to do a slip stitch into that first stitch, slip stitch into the second stitch, and then another slip stitch into the stitch, and then we're going to do a chain 3, and then here is our 3 chain, and around that 3 chain we're going to do 3 double crochets. And as you can see, that is now brought that in, it's given it a right angle, so now we are going back up this way. What's good about this is once you start decreasing, the rows go really, really quickly because you do less and less stitches, as less and less squares as you're going along. So you're basically doing the same thing in the middle, and this is our last one. We're going to fix this to this square here by doing a single crochet, a slip stitch, then we do a chain 1, and then we do a slip stitch across this way. And then if we have a look, we've now got 2 squares here and 2 squares. Now we're going to keep decreasing and decreasing until we get the whole square. So I'm going to go off and do that because I'm running out of space on my camera again. I'm going to go off and do that, and then I'm going to come back and show you the last square. Okay, so I've gone off and done that, and sorry about having to keep stopping. Technology isn't really working for me at the moment. So, right, I've got to the last square. So I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to do 3 double crochets into there. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space. Now you could single crochet, slip stitch across here, but we are actually going to neaten this up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put some single crochets around the edge. I'll put a clippy marker in halfway around, so we're going to put 8 stitches in before the clippy marker and 8 stitches after the clippy marker. So I'm literally joining with a slip stitch and then doing a single crochet, and then just evenly crocheting single crochets along the first part. The aim is to get 8 in at this point to make it even, so it doesn't end up too tight and it doesn't end up too loose. So I'm just coming up to the clippy marker. Once I get to this point, I'm going to take the clippy marker out, just put my last stitch in, take the marker out if it's easier. Now I'm going to put the clippy marker back into that last stitch I made. This makes it easier, stops you having to count back if you lose count. You can just count up to that last stitch where the stitch marker is. Slightly off screen. Not only was I not recording sound, but I had to also try to record on a different phone as well, which is why everything's slightly out of shot. So I've taken the stitch marker out and I'm placing it in a halfway point on the next side. I'm going to pick up my stitch and start again. I've already done 1, 2, okay, so I'm just finishing up. I had to change my stitch marker. That green one was not very flexible and was hurting my hands, so I decided to change the stitch marker. I'm just doing the last few stitches, last few single crochets around, and then I'm going to be joining once I find a stitch. And then I'm going to join with the first single crochet and then pulling the end through and fastening off. Need to do now, and that is to weave in the ends. We've got a few that we need to weave in. Now this is with it all the ends weaved in, and I've brought in one of our other squares so we can have a look at both of them side by side. So there you go, there's our next square.